welcome to my video blog. I'm in the forest walking around. I'm looking for this gapahuk. It's like a grill hut, and I looked at the map because I'm a little bit old-fashioned, and I was like, I can find that. That's easy. Well, guess what? It's not that easy. So right now I'm in the forest and I'm walking around. So let me introduce myself. My name is Jenny and this is my video blog. I'm new at this, and this video blog is about awakening and my personal journey, and I just wanted to talk about it. And whenever one of my videos find you, they're timeless, so whenever you look, that's the perfect time for you to see and listen to my video blog. So yeah, today I wanted to talk about my worldview. My worldview is kind of shamanic, I guess, and especially dreams and all of that. It's such a big topic though, but when I was ill, I got ill very slowly, and the first kind of things that I've noticed when I was sick was that it was almost as if I was behind frosted glass or something, not, I could see the world, but it felt almost like I was watching the world, like I wasn't part of it, like I was looking at the world through glass. And that was one of the things. As soon as I got better, the world got clearer. So that was interesting. And also when I was sick, I felt like I was very close to the other side, and I got a lot of information from over there, much more than I've ever experienced ever. And also I had spontaneous things happen to me that has never happened to me before, or that happened when I was little, but that I just couldn't explain or whatever. But yeah, so I wanted to talk about all of it because maybe it will help someone else. And yeah, I do feel like dreams, at least for me, on the other side, I feel like we all dream. We're all in different places, different worlds, different dimensions, different frequencies, and depending on how we're feeling, I think, or what our mission is, or what we're doing, what our soul is doing. And yep, so dreams. Oh yeah, one thing I have to tell you is, one thing that I've noticed ever since I was younger is that every time I speak about something really interesting, deep or spiritual, or I feel like my nose starts itching, and I never knew what that was, you know, and people would look at me and they're like, why is she scratching her nose, you know? Why is she scratching her face? Why is she scratching her nose, you know? But I feel like every time I talk about stuff, it's already happened now, but I never realized that it's because your guides that are around you, they get curious and they want to be in the conversation, and they want to see, they want to hear, they want to listen, they want to be in on it, and they get too close, and that's why your face is itching. So I started, once I understood that, I asked, every time my nose starts itching, I ask them to move back a little. And when you ask them to move back a little, your nose stops itching. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, I wanted to say that. So I'm gonna try to find this gapahuk, and hopefully I will. Yep. Yeah, so I finally ended up on top of the little hill, and I'll show you the view. Okay, so this is the view. Yeah, well, I found the top of the mountain, but I'm still looking for this grill hut that's supposed to be here, and I'm just following the footsteps of someone else, and I'm kind of hoping that they know where they're going. So the outer world reflects your inner world, and the easiest way to see that is that when you get stressed out, your house gets messy, obviously. So that's like the first thing that shows you that your inner world is in chaos, and the best way you can do something about it is to try to clean your outer world. So cleaning the energy of the outer world, and you're also cleaning your inner world at the same time. So I wonder if I'm on the right path, but I'm sure I am. Dreams. In your dreams, you're on the other side, obviously, and I think you can be on other planets, in other dimensions. You have your soul knows what it's doing. It knows where you're going and what you're up to, and I think everybody is doing things. But I also think you can be in different frequencies. So you can be in very low frequencies, which are the darker worlds. And you can also be in light frequencies, which are the lighter worlds. Me, I'm always in dark worlds. Always. My worlds are they're just very dark, very dark, usually ruins, catastrophic things that's happened there, and that's where I am, and I walk around in there, and it doesn't bother me, and I'm not afraid or anything, but One thing that I can say is I think that it's a very good idea to start looking at the symbols in your dreams. Like, what are your guides trying to communicate to you through your dreams? It could be what you're not listening to, what you are avoiding. It could also be meeting people. It could be meeting guides, all kinds of guides, and yeah. So the way I look at it is the dream world. You can get just as much information from the real world, because the real world is kind of a dream world too. So everything that happens in the real world are also messages, just like in your dream world. So when I knew this, I just started checking things. So I would, if there were animals that, because sometimes, of course, you see animals all the time, but it's the animals that stick out to you, the ones that are in the weird places or that cross your path, or those are the ones that they have messages. And if you look them up as if they were dream symbols, so you can Google like dream interpretation and just Google the animal that you met and see what it means and see if it applies to your life. It can also be something that happens, like I broke a glass. So everything that happens in the waking world are also messages. So you do dream interpretation, shattered glass, and see what it means. And so it's really interesting, I think. But yeah. Whew. So the outer world reflects the inner world. Whoops. And so when you're dreaming, most of the time, dreams can also be, they tell you what's going on, like transformation and something new. It's often when, or at least that's for me, every time when I die in dreams, that's an ending of something, and it's something new. So something new is coming. Like if you dream that the world is ending or whatever, that just means that there's something new coming. Something old is ending and something new is coming, and that's all it means. So because everything is symbolic in dreams, it doesn't, a lot of times it doesn't just And I'm not saying always, because there are some people that get exactly what's happening. This is what's going to happen, and then that happens. So we're all different. We all work in different ways. And I've also, when I was sick, I had dreams about my illness. And most of the time I would get dreams, and at the time when I dreamt the dream, I didn't understand them. But then a couple of months later, something would happen, and all of a sudden I would understand what those dreams meant. So sometimes I think you're not ready to hear the information that you're getting, or it will take you some time to process what they're talking about. So yeah. Oh, it's slippery today. It's pretty mild today, so it's a little bit slippery. So I'm going to be careful. And dreams kind of tell you what you want, like what you really want, like freedom dreams where you're flying and you're where your soul is telling you this is what you want. You're not doing it, but this is what you want. Because the waking life is just a dream too. It's the waking dream, and the waking dream mirrors your sleeping dreams. And it mirrors you. It mirrors how you feel, and what your it mirrors how you feel. The world that you're living mirrors how you feel about yourself. And how you feel about yourself also tells you what frequency you're living in. Because if you hate yourself, then you're living in a very low frequency. And everything in that frequency is much harsher and much the consequences are much worse in the lower frequencies. But if you don't love yourself, that's where you are, and things will just keep pounding on you. Because in the lower frequencies, everybody who's in the lower frequencies hate themselves. You know what I mean? Like, they don't like themselves. They have a very not good self-view. They don't have love for themselves. And so if you are in that frequency, everybody else that you meet that are attracted to you and in your life are going to be people of the same frequency, because they're attracted to your frequency and you're attracted to their frequency. And you're going to hurt each other. You're going to hurt each other. It's going to be harsh lessons. And that's what it means to be in lower frequency. So the best thing to do is to start working on your self-love. And you need to get rid of all of that old stuff. But I'm not gonna talk about everything today, but that's a little bit. So when you're in a higher frequency, everybody you meet is also in that frequency, and the consequences are less. So that means that you love yourself more, and everybody else around you also loves themselves more. And those kind of people are attracted to you, and you are attracted to them. So when things happen, it's not so severe, and they're not out to hurt you. Because one more thing, I think people that are hurting, that is really hurting, in their soul, they're trying to, they want to feel the pain that kind of mimics how they feel, like if let's say you have a lot of shame, and you're shaming yourself, and let's say you're a sex addict, because you have no self-love, and you have a lot of shame about your sexuality, and you are going to have people inflict shame on you so that you can mimic how you're feeling inside, and that's the same as people that their house is very messy. It's because that's how they feel inside. It mimics how they feel inside. And you get the point. It doesn't matter how you're doing it. Actually, I also kind of feel like when we're talking about addictions and stuff, I think that, for example, a lot of addictions is it's because you hate yourself. It's because you hate yourself, and it's because you're trying to take your life. But you're not doing it actively. You're doing it, but you're not doing it. You are doing it, but it's not you doing it. You're kind of handing it over to someone else. You're handing it over to food. You're handing it over to risky behavior. You're handing it over to alcohol. You're handing it over to whatever it may be, That way, smoking, for example, you're handing it over to cigarettes. So it's a slow suicide. It's like you hate yourself so much that you really want to die, You really don't, that's what you want. But you're not doing it actively. You're handing your power over to someone else and saying, if this kills me, so be it. And it's all about self-love, because life is worth living. Life is worth living. If you're not happy with your life, you're not a tree. You are not a tree. You can change. But you have to realize what you're doing. You have to be open and, to where you see what you're doing. And once you see it, you might go, ooh, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to start loving myself, and I want to get up to different frequencies where my life is joyful instead of painful. And the first step is to love yourself, but I know that's not easy. But one more thing, if we're talking about frequencies and stuff, if you have an addiction, that means you live in the lower realms. In your waking life, you live in the lower realms. And that also means that you probably have attachments. You have spirits that are also addicts, that, they're attached to you because of your addiction, because they never resolved their addiction. And when they died, they couldn't let go. They couldn't let go. They were still addicted to the alcohol. They were still addicted to the drugs. And when they died, they didn't leave. They stayed. Because they had to have that next fix, or they had to have that next drink, or the next cigarette, or whatever. And I think that the people with attachments, because I think all people with addictions have attachments, spirits that are attached to them, and they're trying to experience the same kind of experience they had when they were alive, but they're no longer alive. So they're trying to get it through you. When you're drinking, they're there with you at the bar, and they're trying to feel it through you, but they can't. But that means also that they're going to do whatever it takes to keep you doing it. They're going to try to keep you doing it. So I'll keep talking about this, in this episode. But you can clean yourself, or you can have someone else do it, where you clear and clean your energy, and you pretty much open a door to the spirit world and tell them to let go and go into the light. And if they don't want to, you make them. So, yep. That's how I feel about it anyway. Yep. So, in the last episode, I did a ritual where I wrote down places and people, and I also ripped up some soul contracts, and to let go of these people and the places and situations that had made me sad or whatever, and that I didn't want to bring into the new. So that's why I did that ritual. But you can also do this. This is another thing that I do almost every day. In the last 2 weeks, I've definitely done this. And you can do it too. This is a really good idea. If you want to let go of stuff and you don't know what to do, or you don't have a procedure or whatever, or you're afraid of it, Okay, so I usually go on a walk, and I talk to my guides, and I ask them to help me release all the old crap that I still feel something about, that I feel sorrow about, or I feel sad, or I feel angry, disappointed, whatever. It still hurts, That's the point. And the point is that you start walking, and you talk to your guides, and then you start as far back as you can remember, and you go to one thing that you remember that made you very sad or very angry or very disappointed or whatever. And then you talk about that situation, you know, as if, you know, you're talking to the person and you say, you know, this made me so sad. It made me so angry. It made me feel like I wasn't worth anything, you know. It made me feel horrible. And it really changed the way I look at myself or whatever. And you start talking about the situation. And when you talk about it and when you see it, visualize it, the emotion comes up and you cry or you yell or you scream or whatever, but you cry. And when you cry, you're releasing it, you know? And then when it doesn't hurt anymore, you dry your tears and then you tell your guides, okay, and then you go to the next thing. And then you go to the next situation that you know, that made you angry or sad or whatever. And you do the same thing. You talk about it. You talk about it until the emotions comes up. And then you cry. And you cry until it doesn't hurt anymore. And then you dry your tears. And then you go to the next one. And the next one. And the next one. And the next one. And I did that. And when I got home, I felt like, okay, I can't come up with any new situations now. I'm done, you know. And I was telling my guys, I can't come up with anything else now. I'm done. So the next day, I walked out and I was talking to my guys and I was saying, well, I can't come up with anything else, you know. So I shouldn't have said that. So I was walking and all of a sudden memories of things that they want you to deal with, things that you necessarily don't have on your radar, but they know that it's important for you to deal with it. So then memories come of stuff that, you know, and then you talk about it and you visualize it and the emotion comes up and then you cry until you don't feel anything else, and then you just dry your tears and let them show you the stuff that they want you to process, and you process that. And this you can do, you know, I did it for 2 weeks where I just cried my eyes out every morning, you know. So maybe it takes a lot of energy. It's not something that you want to do every single day because it's just, you know, but once a month, once a week, you know. And every time you do that, you're letting go of more and more and more of what you haven't processed, the things that hurt. And I know people are afraid to dive in, but I look at this as you're diving into the shadow, you know, you're diving in and you're dealing with it. And afterwards you feel better. So when you have a breakthrough, before you have a breakthrough, you always have anxiety, like bad anxiety. But that means that your ego is just trying to protect you from going into the new. And that's why you're feeling fear, you know. You're doing good. So, yeah. So that's, or you can look at the last video where I had a different a different ritual to let go. So yeah. Okay, so I've been out in the forest walking around for a while, and I'm on my way back to my car now. And I feel good about this video blog. I do feel like it's something that my guides want me to do, and I hope that it helps someone. And that's all I want. I just want it to help someone. And yeah, and also I'm having fun. This is a lot of fun. So I don't know, I might come up with something new to talk about, but for right now,